Hello, good people. Welcome back to our channel. We're so excited to have you again. Lagos State anti-open grazing bill has gone past the second reading, and right now it is in public space. In other words, they have created a forum for public hearing. We've heard what these guys have to say about it, talking about Miyetti, but most people do not really know the full content of that bill, what it looks like, so that probably you can be fully guided. And if you have an opportunity of having an encounter with these Fulani guys when they are destroying your farm, especially if you're staying in Lagos axis, you can tell them the consequences of what they are going to face so that they will understand that this whole thing is very serious. For other states, we are yet to see the content of the bill, but for Lagos State, it's very clear. But with what I'm seeing here, it's as if it have some kind of similarity with what other states are doing. But then I would like to give you full details of the different sections in the bill. Now, according to the news, the Lagos Anti-Open Grazing Bill passed second reading at the State House of Assembly on Monday. The following are the 6 areas of interest as contained in the document. A 50,000 naira fine per head of cattle for grazing on another person's land. Now, according to Section 2, subsection 1 of the bill, any person that owns or is in control of cattle and causes or permits such cattle to graze on any land that does not belong to the owner of the cattle or is not within an area designated for cattle grazing commits an offense and is liable on conviction to payment of a fine of 50,000 naira per head of cattle and payment for the costs incurred for impounding, transporting, and maintaining the cattle by the order of the court. Now, the second one is impounded cattle must be claimed within 7 days or honor risks permanent forfeiture. Section 2, subsection 2 and 3 states that any person that owns or is in control of such impounded cattle must claim them before the expiration of 7 days from the day the cattle were impounded or be liable to permanently forfeit such cattle by order of the court. All unclaimed cattle under subsection 2 of this section shall be publicly auctioned. Now, the third one says grazing in an enclosed land must be approved by Ministry of Agriculture. Section 3, subsection 1 and 2 says any person that owns or is in control of cattle shall not cause or permit such cattle to graze in an enclosed land without obtaining approval from the Ministry of Environment and Agriculture. Such approval shall not be granted where the enclosed land is within a residential area. That's a good one. And this one says 21-year imprisonment for firearm possession. Section 4, subsection 1 and 2 states that any person found to be in possession of firearm while heading cattle commit an offense and is liable on conviction to 21 years imprisonment. Any person found to be in possession of a dangerous weapon or object with intent to wound or cause grievous bodily harm to another person while heading cows commit an offense and is liable on conviction to 7 years imprisonment. Establishment of task force on cattle trespass. Section 7 provides that the state will establish a task force on cattle trespass for the purpose of law enforcement, and the task force shall have units located in every cattle pound established within the state. The section reads, the task force shall have the power to collaborate with the Commissioner of Police concerning the prohibition of open cattle grazing within the state. The task force shall be comprised of officers from the military, from the Ministry of Agriculture, and law enforcement agents within the state. The task force may co-opt persons from within the community that the task force is located in to work with the task force. Opposing seizure of cattle attracts 250,000 fine or 6 month imprisonment. According to Section 11, any person who forcibly oppose the seizure of cattle liable to be seized as provided for under this law, or forcibly retrieve the cattle after the seizure, either from a cattle pound or from persons taking or about to take them to a cattle pound, commits an offense and is liable to conviction to a maximum term of imprisonment of 6 months or a maximum fine of 250,000 naira or both imprisonment and fine. The bill has not yet passed into law, but Assembly encouraged members of the public to send their contributions down. And now looking at this, it gives us a clear-cut picture of what the punitive measure is. And the most interesting part of this for me, I want you also to choose a part of it which overly interests you. But for me, the most interesting part of it is the fact that they are establishing a task force that will always accompany law enforcement officers, for the implementation of this anti-open grazing law. That's overly important because I've seen this kind of law in Plateau State. But unfortunately, nobody is enforcing it. There's some local government in Plateau State that have been taken over by herders. They go into their farm, destroy everything, and nobody says anything. But if you go there to meet with the legislature, they will tell you they already have existing laws that is regulating the activities of herders in Plateau State. But man, they are not effective, and because they are not effective, it's not working. And another thing is, I'm so shocked that Lagos State is still rolling out, this tax force stuff, because I personally believe that there should have been a constituted body already on the ground that will be carrying out this, just like what is happening in Ondo State, in Osun State, and the likes. Now, these guys already have on ground a constituted authority, which is Omotekun, Lagos State don't have a Motekun. I don't know why, because they are still part of Southwest, no matter the fact that, we have multiple ethnic groups there. But I think they should still, bring that in because, for example, on those states, right now, they are already working, every now and then to ensure they do the right thing, make sure that these guys do not go around with cows everywhere. Just some few days ago, we saw a video where a cow got loose on the main road and was, busy destroying the cars of people. These things must be curtailed, and that's why these regulations are there. But it cannot be curtailed if there are no task force to ensure implementation. And that task force must be, and for me, this is my personal opinion, this task force, for them to be overly effective and for that law to be effective, they must be integrated into the mainstream of civil service and be paid salaries, so that you can get effective performance. Give them target, you understand, and make sure that their phone numbers are made public, so that any any individual or resident of Lagos who sees cows doing anyhow somewhere, it's just to put a call through to those guys and they come and do their job. I mean, if this is taken seriously, I can assure you that the issue of farmer herders clash will come to a standstill. And like one of those that was talked about, that one of the sections talking about them having something like a fence round environment for cows. Just go meet Ministry of Environment and Ministry of Agriculture, talk to them about it, and the necessary approval will be given. But then it must not be within the confines of a residential area. At least it should be in an area where there is enough vegetation. So whatever you do there, maybe pay some little money and the fence it around, you stay there with your cows. And I mean, it's going to be very interesting. I'm so happy that Lagos State has come to this point. But then, let's see